Hi, my name is Domingos Oliveira, President and Founder of SecuGuard. Today, I want to speak about a subject that is critical in private security: the use of force and its legal limits. This is one of the most serious responsibilities a security professional can face. In our industry, force must never be seen as a first option, a personal reaction, or a display of power. Force must always be lawful, justified, proportionate, and professional. That principle is fundamental. A security guard is not hired to create conflict. A security guard is hired to maintain safety, protect people and property, and respond to incidents with discipline and judgment. That means every action taken by a guard must be guided by legal boundaries, operational procedures, and professional control. The first thing every security professional must understand is that not every difficult situation justifies force. A verbal disagreement is not automatically a threat. A refusal to cooperate does not always justify physical intervention. An emotional individual is not necessarily a violent one. This is why observation, communication, and de-escalation must always come before unnecessary physical action whenever possible. Force is a serious measure, and it must only be used when it is legally permitted, operationally necessary, and appropriate to the situation. In professional security, the standard is not emotion. The standard is judgment. A guard must be able to evaluate the situation clearly. What is the threat? Who is at risk? What level of intervention is truly necessary? Is there another option available? Can the situation be controlled through verbal intervention, presence, distance, or support from other personnel or emergency services? These questions matter because once force is used, the consequences can be significant. There may be injuries, there may be complaints, there may be police involvement, there may be civil liability, there may be disciplinary action, there may be damage to the client's reputation, the company's credibility, and the public's trust in the profession. That is why professionalism is everything. A professional security guard does not use force out of frustration, anger, ego, or impatience. A professional guard remains calm, acts with control, and uses only the level of intervention that is necessary under the circumstances. That is what proportionate force means. It means the response must match the situation, not exceed it. The use of force must also be justified. In other words, there must be a real reason for it. The guard must be able to explain clearly why action was necessary, what threat or risk existed, what alternatives were considered, and why the chosen response was appropriate. If a guard cannot explain the reason for the force professionally and logically, then that decision is already questionable. And after any use of force, documentation becomes essential. A proper incident report must be detailed, factual, and objective. It should explain what happened, what was observed, what actions were taken, who was involved, and what happened after the intervention. In this field, the report is not just paperwork. It is part of professional accountability. At SecuGuard, we believe that the strongest security professionals are not those who rush to force. They are the ones who know how to prevent force, control themselves under pressure, and act only when necessary and within clear legal and professional limits. The future of private security in Canada depends on a higher standard of discipline, training, and judgment. Guards must be trained not only to respond, but to think. Not only to act, but to justify their actions. Not only to protect, but to do so in a way that respects the law, the dignity of individuals, and the integrity of the profession. Force, when truly necessary, must always remain a tool of last resort, not a shortcut. And that is exactly why the legal limits of force must be understood, respected, and applied with the highest level of professionalism. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Domingos Oliveira, President and Founder of SecuGuard. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your commitment to the future of the security industry in Canada. To learn more about our vision and our platform, please visit www.secuguard.org. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and like this video.